Okay, so up next we have Sanjiv Kumar, who is a visitor, a postdoc in CGD, which I think is incredibly brave to come out here and give a talk to us. But so this is, we have to have one technical talk. So Sanjiv is our go-to man for that.
And I just want to let people know that he didn't get that first slide, so he has to start right away, poor Sanjiv. So he's at a disadvantage from the start. So.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to talk about regional climate, and I'll mainly focus on change, variability, and uncertainties. And it will become clear what does these terms mean. So we had a devastating flood last week in Colorado, and these are the pictures outside my apartment. And during the same week, I called my mom, and she said there is a drought in my home state in India. So regional climate is all about getting right information to the right people. Does climate model provide such regionally detailed climate information? Or specifically, if the ensemble mean is a good predictor of the regional climate. So I'm going to answer that. So why regional climate? It's important for food, water, and energy, and it's also important for preparing nation's infrastructure so that it can meet the climate challenges in the future. It's important for sustainability of the natural resources and handing it over to the next generation. Recently, I've become new father, so I share this responsibility. So, what we want to know in the regional climate, is it going to be a cycle of the warm and the cold phases as we have seen in the past, or is it going to be something different? Is it going to be a continued warming that is mainly driven by the greenhouse gas emission? And this is based on IPCC climate model last report. Or is it going to be a combination of these two, as you will see in the next slide? We can predict regional climate better if we combine the natural variability and the climate change together. So as a scientist, it is important to know whether it's like variability or whether it's climate change. But for planning the nation's infrastructure, like New York subway in the Superstorm Sandy, we need both the information together, and only then we can put into the nation infrastructure planning. So what currently we know, we run the climate model, and as Colorado says, we get whatever we want. So next 30 years can be wet, next 30 years can be dry. So we are really not certain what it's going to be. Regional climate prediction are mainly based on the ensemble mean. Here is the ENSO forecast. It is a type of regional prediction, and it's for early next year, 2014, and that is based on the ensemble mean. And where does this concept come from? We always had a bunch of forecasts, and then we asked the question, okay, what's the best possible information available in those forecasts? But that is only one side of the coin. We have using the same data set, we can ask a very different question. Here is the ensemble mean, here is my observation. What's the distance between these two? And then we can get the answer whether the ensemble mean is a good predictor of the regional climate. We can do some back of the envelope calculation, some more like programming or anything, and then we get the answer like observation is 0.9 standard deviation away from the ensemble mean. And that's true for both winter as well as a summer forecast. So on the other side of the coin, we have the answer is observation is 1 standard deviation away from the ensemble mean. So that's a very far away distance in statistical terms. So going back to my 30 to 50 years, again here you see it is a 30-year precipitation trend running through the 20th century. You see observation is quite far away from the ensemble mean. So this also says ensemble mean is not a good predictor. What about in terms of long-term trends? And here is a 75-year precipitation trend. You see a lot more darker color in the observation compared to the ensemble mean. So this also tells you the same story. And even if we go for the temperature trend, story is the same. So this implies whether it's a seasonal, decadal, or the long-term forecast or long-term projection, ensemble mean is not a good predictor of the regional climate. So going back to my original question, there is both good and bad news. Good news is, okay, observation is there somewhere in the ensemble spread. Bad news is ensemble mean is not a good predictor of the regional climate. So what we need to do, we need to go ahead and find out what's the most useful ensemble member in the prediction. So whether the boulder flood was there in the ensemble spread, I'm still analyzing the data. Thank you.